have different areas that we're going to use different colors. I'll start on the left. Red. This is considered red. Red. This is orange, but our industry doesn't make red, so we're using orange. Okay? Red is going to be used in bathrooms, nurse's office, timeout areas, if you have a timeout room, only. Okay? That's the only place we're going to use the red. Yellow is going to be used in the cafeteria only and only on the cafeteria tables. Okay? Now I'm going to show you how we're going to use all this, okay? Just keep this in mind. Yellow is cafeteria and only cafeteria. Blue is everywhere else. Everywhere else. Okay? Classroom cleaning, hallway cleaning, cafeteria floor, we're using a blue microfiber mop. Gone are the cotton mops. The rotten cotton is no longer. Okay? So when we have to mop out a bathroom because little Johnny or Susie has made an accident, we're going to use this mop. We're not going to use a blue one. We're going to use this colored one. Part of the reason why is there's going to be a lot of eyes on what you guys do and on what everybody else is doing in the building. If we can show them that we're using special tools for special areas to keep their building safe and clean, they'll buy in and they'll support you, okay? Right now, you'll take that same mop, that rotten cotton mop, and you're going to mop out a bathroom, or you're going to mop out a classroom, and you just keep it. Some people dump it during a shift. Some people use the same water the whole way through. Not happening anymore, okay? We're going to change that. So to go along with that, when I'm on that, everybody got a new mop bucket like this. It's going to have casters on it. Coming with it is this. You won't use this. This is in our healthcare industry where people have microfiber mops that are only about this long. It shortens the wringer out so it's easier for the housekeeping to wring it out. Because they have to clean their water every so many square feet. So every 3 patient rooms, they're putting in new water. So they use a lighter mop. This mop may look short, but when you load it up with water, it's a little heavier. It is as heavy as kind of a large mop. Okay? But this is between a large and a medium, so they hold a lot of debris and a lot of weight. But how we're going to change that, you haven't seen the bucket. There's a divider in the bucket. Okay? The front part of the bucket is where we're going to put our cleaning solution, our top clean, or our Suprox D. Okay? You're going to wet your mop here, and you're going to wring it out here in the back. So all the dirty contaminant, for the most part, is going to go in here. We're not going to commingle it here. All right? Now, with the mop, the wet mop, if you go into a bathroom, and for the most part, I'll talk about mopping with the pads, but if you need to use a wet mop because there's excessive amount of bodily fluid on the floor, we're going to want you to rinse that out, and we're going to want you to take that mop out of service and put a new one on. If it's just normal mopping, just fine. You can use that mop that whole shift. But at the end of the shift, the red, or the orange, and the blue mops are going to go in the bag, along with all the other microfiber. Okay? And we're going to wash them every day. Okay? So every day, as an employee, you're going to start with clean new stuff. Okay? We're no longer going to use the cotton towels, the white towels. Everything will be used with a microfiber towel. So when I walk into a bathroom and I'm going to clean either with 11-inch or 12-inch pad. When I'm done with that girl's side, I'm going to take that pad off and that hand towel off, and I'm going to throw it in the bag. I'm going to go to the boys' side, and I'm going to reload more. New. In the classroom, we use blue. In the classroom, typically in the past, you would go in with a dust mop the area, and then you'd come back in and maybe spot mop if you had time with a wet mop, correct? Now we're gonna do it all in one trip, and we're gonna wet dust mop the whole classroom, be in and out. At the end of that, wiping and cleaning, we're using one blue towel, one blue pad per classroom, if we can get by with one. And I'll show you what happens if you need it. We're gonna take that, going in the bag. Okay? So we're not gonna take the dirt from Mrs. Peterson's room and move it into Mr. Johnson's room. We're not gonna take a microfiber like the Pulse and pump on the handle and get more juice and keep loading up the pad. So we're gonna move, every classroom is gonna get a pad and a towel. And we're gonna throw it in here. Okay? We're gonna try to stop, not just with this virus. By the way, nobody is dying of the flu. My wife told me that this morning when I was getting ready. She goes, how come they're not talking about the flu this year? It's because everybody's dying of COVID. But, okay, that's a whole nother political issue. But the point is, we're gonna try to stop any bacterial growth from going to the next room, to the next room, to the next area, to the next area. Okay? So, how the system works. I bet you get so excited here. Okay, so in this pail, there's graduated based on the number of pads or hand towels that I'm going to use in a shift. So going away is the wet mop and a bucket and a wringer for the most part in classroom cleaning. We're going to use a pad. We're going to pre-moisten the pads and the hand towels ahead of time. So when it comes to wiping in a classroom, we're not going to use a trigger sprayer bottle anymore. These are going to be pre-wet. We're not going to overspray, miss anything. We're going to get away from doing this all the time. Okay? You're going to be pre-moistened. How do you pre-moisten what you need to use? On here, there's slotting based on the towels or the pads. So I set 12 wet pads in here for an example, okay? Because I think I'm going to need 10 for the day. I always take a few extra. So I got 12. I got my top clean in this case because that's the product I'm using with this, what I'm going to mop. Got it measured in there. I'm going to pour it on top of the pads. Okay? And if you're using hand towels, you're going to do it in here. Okay? Snap the lid on. It's all sealed. Take it, rotate it, okay? Hold it for 15, 20 seconds, okay? Take it off, turn it back, open it up, and now they're all pre-moistened, okay? Not dripping wet, okay? What we want in the bottom of the container is no water. We've absorbed it all, so we're going to use less water, less chemical. Okay? But guess what? We're going to have a clean pad every time. So the card is meant, as an example, you can set the pads like this if you want. Remember, in a restroom, we're going to use red. So you can put your red ones in the other color if you want. Leave them up here. Okay? You're going to take your handle in your frame. If we're using an 18-inch, we're using an 18. It opens like this. The handles are lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Okay? So you can extend it to whatever height you as an operator would like.
You can height?
Huh?
You can height?
Yeah, give me his height. All right? Okay? So whatever height you want. On your spring mops, your microfiber mops, you're going to use your old handles. Okay? These handles don't work on there. Open it up. When the pockets get a little bit wider, after they've been not brand new, snap it on without even touching. You got a wet mop. Okay? And and you mop. Okay? Back and forth. You can reach underneath things, do whatever you want. Okay?
That's so nice.
All right? Now, are we asking you to mop every classroom wall to wall every day? Not necessarily. But do the best you can, okay? Get all the debris off of the floor as much as you possibly can. They will do a much better job. Your floors will look nicer. And next year when you go to refinish them, if you have to, you'll have less damage to the floor. Dust mops, whenever you touch a dust mop next to anything, it leaves little debris. And we're gonna get rid of that. So you're gonna see, my experience is, you're gonna see a lot less of that grain or that chalking you saw in vinyl from desks sliding back and forth. That's gonna be gone. You have a much cleaner environment, especially if they're starting to eat breakfast. Some of your schools are trying to eat lunch in the classrooms. I'm working very hard right now to stop that.
And we're not here.
Well, I know, but the building it came from, the principal told the custodial staff that they're gonna clean the desks.
Every
after lunch.
day?
Every day. And I got Terry on, that's who he's making a call to right now, right? Okay? So I'm trying to nip some of the, so we don't want you to do anything more. I am gonna ask you to do one thing more, but, so this is how the system works. Okay? So, I'm in a bathroom. You guys have your C3 still? Some of you use them? Okay? What I would recommend doing in a bathroom is going in and just standing back and misting kind of from here on down in an elementary school, and then take your wet pad and then go back, whether you want 18, and wipe the wall and the partitions. You can do it really quickly. Okay? When you no longer see a film being left by the pad, that's when we want to change the pad out and get a new one. Okay? They'll handle 500 to 800 square feet. This, on a surface like this, 700 to 800. On a luxury vinyl where there's more texture, you know, or grouted surfaces, they might only go about 500 square feet because they just drag them. Okay? But when they start to roll a little bit, I don't know if I can duplicate it. Some days, some room, they'll start to roll. It won't slide. Then put a new pad on. Okay? So what you do in a bathroom, you're going to want to spray it all. Then you're going to want to take the red hand towel and go wipe off. Because now this is pre-moistened. Okay? Pre-wet. We've already wetted the bucket. You take a new one with gloves on, and you're going to wipe your flush manifolds, the top to the urinals, the top to the toilet seats, or do whatever cleaning you have in the sink, okay? Then go back because your product has had dwell time. Then you can pad off everything else, and then finish on the floor and mop your way out. Okay? Then after that girl's bathroom, that boy's bathroom, you're going to take that off, and you're going to dump it in the cart. Yeah.
What about inside the bowl?
Inside the bowl, you're still going to use your bowl cleaner or your Suprox D and your swab. That you'll still use.
You're still going to Johnny Mop?
You're still going to Johnny Mop. Now, do you use 2 Johnny Mops here, one in the sink and one in the bowl? We're not doing that anymore. No sink Johnny Mop. Okay? Here's why. I know that's the way you were trained. Okay? That's kind of the old school. You're the only ones that are doing that. Okay? Perception is huge. If somebody sees you walk out with 2 bowl mops, or they happen to walk into a bathroom, and they don't know if that's the same swab that you used in the toilet or not. Okay? We just want to get away from that. So you're going to have a pre-moistened towel that's already wet. If you need some water and Suprox, you're going to wipe it with the towel. You're not going to use a bowl swab anymore. Okay? Please. Okay? Because it's perception. All right? They may think that's the same bowl swab that you just did whatever you did within that bowl. Okay? We're just going to cut that out. You're the only ones that have been doing it. Not all your buildings are doing it, but from now on, let's go a different direction. Okay? Not the cleanest, just think about it. It doesn't, from a perception standpoint. So, you will still use that. But your towels are going to be wet in the bathroom. Your pad's going to be wet to ding the wall after you've used your C3 to disinfect. So that's all going to be there. You're not going to need nearly as much water as you think. And you'll have a much smaller, fresher cleaning bath. Okay? Everything's going to get dumped. into the bag. Now the bag sits on the back of the cart. To get the stuff out at the end of the shift, you can zip it down and pull it out. Some people will put a plastic bag in them so that they can then put it in the bag, pull the whole bag out and dump it. If not, you might want to wipe this out at least every other week because you're going to get human hair, dust, gravel, stuff that falls off. All this stuff is going to be in the bag. Keep the bag from getting really stinky. It is a vinyl bag, but you know what I mean. Stuff gets dirty and gets stinky, so you might want to clean. But some will cheat and put a garbage bag in there and dump it into a garbage bag. I'll leave that up to you and what you want to do there. So you also have a little one, which is for the 11-inch pads, and you got blue ones and you got red ones. The little ones work probably sometimes nicer in staff bathrooms because they aren't nearly as big to mop out. If you can't get an 18-inch pad in there, use this pad to mop the floor for 150 square feet. You can ding the wall with this. This is a lot tighter, a lot smaller. Okay? Same handle for everything. Okay? So a little pad. What do you have, a knife? Here, open that up. Okay, so while you open that, you also got a duster. Okay? The duster comes on a little handle like this. Little handle. You can't really get too far with that. Alright? This duster works on the same handle. Okay? Lori McCarthy says she's no longer going to necessarily look down, eye level, she's going to look up once in a while. Okay? Nice thing about this duster, also microfiber, we aren't going to change this out every room. Once it gets dirty, change it out. And how you change it out, you just pull it off, slide a new one on. Okay? Every cart got two of them. And if you need more of this stuff, when we talk about stuff that you need to have, you get it. But then another thing I like about it, you can conform it. You can twist it. So if I need to get to areas like this, rather than having a flat surface, I have something like this. Okay? And then just straighten it back out or straighten it to whatever degree you want it. Okay? So keep this on your card. Okay? Do those exit signs. Vestibules. For some reason people, if you were the CDC when this thing broke out almost a year ago, I said I lived on that table for one day, then it was a week, then it was maybe a month. We got to be conscious of all our areas in our building, maybe more than ever before. So, once in a while, not every day, okay? But when the dust on that screen gets so bad, at least you have a tool that you can quickly wipe it off. That's all we're asking, okay? On the cart, there's 3 spots for handle. So you can go to battle with 3. So when you load these little dogs, it's not quite as easy as the big one. So the hard shell, the scraper, goes on the elastic side, push it in, and then you can bend this a little bit, and it fills the pocket, okay? These are really handy. This size is really handy. This is really handy to do walls, locker tops. You know, I got locker tops. Some people ride along in the day, and rather than a duster, they have a little wet one on their auto scrubber, and they're knocking off the top of the dust on their lockers. Okay? Trying to do 2 things at once while they're driving. Alright? But anyway, so you have an option to use both. Okay? I would say any chance that you can use this, I would use this. Okay? Okay? Because you can just cover more surface while it's wet. You don't change them out nearly as much. So these are the 3 that come on the cart. Okay? In the cart itself, you have shelves that can be pulled out from either side. Okay? In here, part of the reason Jeff Arthurs wanted this cart versus our little inexpensive cart is he wanted you to be able to put your paper towels, hand soap, all your supplies that you need when you go to battle into that area So you're not running back to your custodial closet to get another roll of paper towel. Okay, so you got two shelves like that to store extra mops or to store whatever you need to store your stuff. There is a holder here for your little Yeti. There is a big holder here for the SA or Quick Trip big gulp cup. Okay, that's all here. All right, this is like a perfect height. If you get that super duper one with a straw, you can just like this. You don't have to bend over. You don't have to touch it. Hands free, right? Okay. So this is a really, really nice cart, and this side holds your wet floor signs. You just hook them on right here. Okay. Now you're going to ask me what this is for. This was meant, and I use this more in the hospitality, in my Radisson Marriott type business. Their housekeeping gets paid by how many rooms they clean in a day. Okay? So they get an incentive to do a good job, but to clean as many rooms as they can in a shift. Well, they use upright vacuums, not necessarily backpacks, because they want to pull up to the room, do the whole room, because they might go down 4 extra rooms before they got to go clean another one. So they want it all on here. So they put their upright vacuum here, and the handle goes in here, and they clip this so the handle doesn't fall off, and the vacuum doesn't fall off as they're moving down the hall. Does that make sense? And now they've gone to battery upright vacuums, because they found that in a 7-hour shift they can clean 2 or 3 more rooms because they aren't plugging the cords in and out all the time. So that's what this was designed for, was to put like a vacuum on there, on this platform. Yeah, we have battery uprights. Yeah.
That are lightweight and.
Well, lightweight and what?
Like, have you ever seen the little Shark rotators? Like this whole system
Okay.
reminds me of Shark.
Yeah. So we sell the Hoover battery upright or the Zoom battery upright. They're pretty light. Batteries are at their base, so the weight is there. Are they as light as a normal, like a Shark? No.
Cause I was gonna say, I just bought a new Shark myself.
Yeah.
And it's little, but the suction power, I've never had a vacuum like it.
Yeah. The challenge we have,
Light.
the challenge we have with some of they aren't meant to run 2-3 hours a day, 5 days a week. And the
Yeah.
life expectancy is, they're made more residential. So the commercial ones we have from like Hoover and Zoom, they're battery upright that are meant to run. You know, I think the battery lives are 45 minutes. They put another battery in, they run another 45 minutes. You know, so yeah, okay. And that's kind of where the industry's going. You know, I think, you know, that's where we're going. There's still a little bit of, you know, push weight. I mean, the brush pulls a little long, but there's no weight. But anyway, that's where they store them.
Okay.
Okay? And that's why this was designed. If you find some other function for it, it's fine.
I bet we can.
Yeah, okay. So, so the cart's kind of set up like this. Now, maybe you're only gonna pre-wet 1 color towels in a day, or whatever, and you want to use the other side for something else. You mix it up however you want. It's just that the cart, when we ordered the cart, we made sure that you had this capabilities. All right. So this is what I told Terry, this is the first time I saw this cart. It was reinvented. So this is a new updated cart. So I noticed this. I want to move to here, and I want to get another angle shelf. So I'm calling the manufacturer to find out how much it's going to cost for angle shelves. So then I could have the second bucket like this, and have this workstation, flat workstation, up here. So maybe you can stack some more stuff on. I don't want to get the cart doing. See, this is just bolted here to here in grommets. So then if I moved it up here, I could slide to another one of these shelves at an angle, and you could have them both at an angle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm going to find out about that. And that might be something we invest in, and we can update all the carts. But, yeah. So, any questions? Okay, so at the end of the day, or at the end of your shift, when you wash, you're going to have this. You have your own washing machine here?
Yeah, they got a new one. It's nice.
Okay. So, my service tech, Dave Benson, who does our laundry warewashing, we are not hooked up to you right now, right?
No.
Okay, the secondary buildings have all been with Hilliard Washing Laundry. So I have a laundry manager and service tech. They're gonna come in and they're gonna hook up a machine. Dispenser on the wall. Wasn't there detergent? It's here.
Yep, it's right there in the white. Yep.
They're gonna hook it up. This is the detergent they're gonna put on the wall. They're gonna put it in a dispenser. You'll see it. It'll be it's inverted, so it drains 100% of it out. There's a valve in it, so you can't dump it out. Okay? So then there's gonna be a hose running from there into the back of your washer. There'll be a button on your washer. You're gonna every time you wash, you push it. It'll automatically meter the soap right into the tank. So there'll be no more glug and powder or liquid. All right? So when it comes to washing, is your wash machine used by other parts in the building or just you?
It is brand new, but the school purchased it for mainly for lost and found
Okay.
items, and then for us to wash our clothes.
Okay, good. So just make sure when you wash, there's only microfiber in it. Don't
Okay.
wash it with detergent towel. You can't commingle it or personal. I mean, some of your buildings, they're washing little Johnny or Susie's personal garments because they got sick. Just make sure that you don't. But our goal would be, at the end of the night, that you take everything that's in your bag and you throw it in the washer, and one of you at night starts the machine. Okay? So that when she comes in the morning, she'll take it out of the washer and throw it in the dryer and dry it. Now, having said that, might not be a perfect science. She might be out shoveling snow. Okay? She might be doing something else and they don't get dry, or somebody forgets and gets busy. I want, and Terry want you to have 2 days supply of everything. Okay? So if the laundry gets missed overnight, you forget to push the wash button. Well, that's going to take another 45 minutes in the morning. Then somebody's got to remember to put it in the dryer. That takes another 45 minutes. And all of a sudden we get 2 hours, and then all of a sudden it's 1:30, 2 o'clock, and you're hearing, our stuff isn't washed or it isn't dry. What are we going to do all night? I want you, Gary and I want you to have 2 days supply. So on the average day, if you go through 20 of these, maybe have a few extra, we gave every cart 48 of these. But I have Fair Oaks, we had a custodian that does 30 classrooms. Well, he's gonna need 35 of these probably a day. So he's gonna need 70 for a 2-day total. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Some of you might have fewer bathrooms. Some of you might have kindergarten or first grade bathrooms that got their own separate bathrooms besides the gate bathrooms. You might have 4 or 5 of those, so you're gonna need more reds. There is more in the warehouse. Okay?
So
just put
everybody
it-
just needs to figure out
what they kind of need to get started with. We do not want 4 or 5 days of supply, but at least have 2 days. Okay? So you have a few extras. Okay? Keep this to yourself. Don't let anybody else walk around with this stuff because it disappears.
Yeah.
Okay?
Calls are nice.
Now, the one thing I am going to ask, that we are adding to your workload a little bit. Right now, the teachers are cleaning the desktops. Okay? 1 day a week, I want you to divide your classroom desktops up so that you can go in with Top Clean and this size pad or a blue pad this side, and I want you to hit every desktop. The peroxide-based cleaner right there is going to leave residue on their desks. Okay, especially if they're going to start eating in the classroom and somebody's got to clean that residue. And what happens is it's peroxide-based. I'm a little old school. Like when I was a kid and I cut my finger, my mom would always put peroxide on before she put a Band-Aid on it to keep the disinfectant out. Peroxide is kind of a chalky white material when it dries. You don't get it wiped off. So this with Top Clean, if you can go in and just wipe the desktops 1 day a week. Or if you know that week you have a non-student contact day and you want to do them all. I mean, one of the buildings we just came with, they do them every Friday because that's what the principal demanded. I'm not asking you to do more than that. And don't tell them, you don't necessarily have to tell them that. If they ask, we do your desktops 1 day a week. But you You might not have room or time to do all 20 in a day. So break it up. I do 5 classrooms a day. I do this hallway on Mondays, that hallway on Tuesdays, or whatever. Don't try to do it all in one day, because it'll be exhausting. And you don't have time to do that, okay? But I want, 1 day a week, I want you to get the desktops, okay? To remove any film, extra film that might be there from the extra food, or, every teacher's gonna do it differently, okay? Some are gonna be better at spraying and cleaning, some aren't, okay? So, you're gonna pick up that slack for 'em. So that is one additional duty. In some cases, some of your staff was already doing it, because that's what the principal demanded, that you guys were in the classroom, cleaning the desktops. Don't have time to do it every day, or after every lunch, like we just came from.
Or breakfast and snack.
Yeah, all of that, okay? But once a week, let's go in and just touch the desktop. Terry's done a really great job putting all of these notes together in a PDF with all the things they just covered, and there's probably 8 to
I just included like 6 of the ones I thought were pretty good. There are more videos if you'd like to see, but I thought that these 6 were.
There's some good videos about cleaning desktops, good videos about, in a bathroom, touch points where I need to touch, what I should be using. Don't get too hung up on the color necessarily. Some of the videos show green. There's green ones like this. I elect not to sell anybody a green. Here's the reason why. I'll be right up front with you. When microfiber came out 15 years ago, the first thing that came out were hallway dust mops. They were microfiber. 18, 24, 30 inch, 60 inch, they're green. Okay? I didn't want that misnomer. So some of my accounts already have microfiber that are green dust mops in the hallway. Okay? Or gyms, or cafeterias are pushing a microfiber dust mop. That's green. I don't want that perception that all of a sudden the green is down in class. So I just stayed away from green 5 years ago when we started selling wet mopping and all that with it. So right now you guys have cotton mops. You won't keep them for areas like this in hallways. Down the road, if you ever move to microfiber, then we'll go to green, okay? Then we'll have a 4th color for just the floors. But right now we're just going to rotten cotton, treated rotten cotton, okay? If you elect to wash them in your washing machine, you can with this detergent, but what I would recommend is when you wash them, take them out, wash the cycle one more time with nothing in it, and get the oil off of the drum that's in there from the dust mop treatment, okay? That's all I'm saying. If you wanna wash them, now that you have a nice washer, when they get, the dirtier they are, as long as they're shaken out, combed out, brushed out, the better they work. They grab soil, for sure. It's that, but, if you do elect to wash them, just take the oil off the drum. And if you can, put hot water in when you wash it. But this stuff can be washed with cold water. Doesn't have to be hot water, okay? So, this is a oxygenated, bleached, color safe bleach detergent. So you can wash personals, you don't have to be worried if you're washing personals or you're washing this or whatever. Just no fabric softener, no bleach. Okay? Fabric softener will wreck them. They'll repel water. It won't hold anything, so don't put fabric softener in, okay? Any questions?
As far as doing the bathrooms, the mopping, I would use a mop for the boys, then I'd get a new mop and do the girls.
Correct.
And then probably use that microfiber thing to do the around the wash sinks.
Yes, the rags, yep. Uh-huh. And I would think in most cases, if it's pre-wet, you'll be able to use a red one like this on the floor and the walls. Okay? The only time you're gonna use this one is if we have heavily bodily, like somebody takes a number 2 in the corner and we gotta clean it up.
Feces.
Or we have blood in there, or we have something like that. And then if that happens, I want you to take it out of service and take the other one you have in your cart and use that one if you gotta go a lot more bathrooms, okay? Just wanna stop that from spreading, even flushing it in here, okay? Does that make sense?
So we would use the
Pad.
pad to do the floor.
Do the
unless
floor and
there's
everything,
something in
yep.
it.
But just start on the wall when you wipe the wall first, and then work to the floor. Don't go to the floor, which is the dirtiest part, and then put it on the wall.
But our bathrooms are pretty pissed up at night, so
Yeah.
the Try using.
Yeah, and if you know you have one, the boys that are always stinky all the time, go ahead and use this mop to mop it. And you can take it to the next boys' bathroom without changing the fluid out, because you're gonna put it in here and wring it out here. It's just if you had like a number 2 on the floor, you clean it up, then let's take that out of service, okay? Put a different one on. And the blue ones in your mopping, like when he's in the cafeteria here, you'll have a blue one to clean up the milk spills and whatever you will, okay? You just have blue. You know, and at the end of the day, rather than hanging it in the back on a hook like that after you've rinsed it out, and it's just hanging there, it's gonna be washed. And we're gonna use a new one. So no more of the rotten cotton hanging in the back, stinking up that area either. Right? I'm gonna try to help out the order deal. I know it's a little washy for you and the night crew to get it started, but I think you'll see that the results are substantially better.
We don't have to wash them before we use them, do we?
No,
Okay.
go to work with them right away.
Okay.
Okay? So, right now, since your washer's already hooked up, you guys can cart up and start playing with them. He's putting a list together, one of our service techs will be in to hook up the detergent, but if you have detergent now and wanna wash them, go ahead and start until they get here.
Okay.
We have 12 buildings that don't have washers or dryers that we're gonna try to get to first, but everybody else, all the secondary buildings all have our microfiber wash system already on their cards and their automated system, so. But for you, you probably have detergent here like a Tide or something.
Yep.
They can start using it right away. When the first day of school starts now, start using this stuff right away. And you can start washing it with that. But we're gonna try to have them all hooked up by the end of next week. Can't promise that, but we're gonna try to do our best that way. Because we found that there's a lot more washers than we thought.
Oh, yeah, I think everybody got them this year. Did they?
No. 12 buildings got our little ones.
Yeah,
They
what
didn't
are
have
the
it.
little ones? I heard they're like this wide and only that.
Just a small, copper pipe washer. It's,
Yeah, that's weird.
Huh?
That's weird, I've never seen them.
Yeah, we just.
Never have either.
We just use them for washing microfiber usually in little loads. And then, I'm gonna talk Terry and Jeff into getting them all little dryers too. That don't have to be duct, that are ventless, but they don't have to be ducked out. So then,
Oh,
so then
nice.
they just set them on a table or a desk, and they can take them right out of the washer, put them in there, and they run, and they just dry, and they just use for microfiber or whatever. Now, if you wanna wash your white rags, you can wash your white rags with detergent, it won't hurt anything. Just make sure you don't put microfiber in the washer with it, you know?
Can't mix them.
But the ones that don't have a dryer, it's a big expense to duct work all that out. But the fire marshal in OSHA allows us to sell one that's just what they call ductless.
Huh.
And it just takes the air from the environment, like in the boiler room or utility room, and uses that air, but it's got a heating element and it dries it. So it's really cool.
That is.
They're-
Send me a picture.
They're about $350 a piece,
How much?
$350.
Oh, wow.
But they sit, most people put them on a table like this or something up high so they don't have to bend over to get them
Yeah.
out. I had a picture on my phone, so then they'll just take it out of the washer and they put it in the dryer. Put them side by side in a boiler room or something, and nobody ever knows that they have them.
Nice.
And they aren't coming in, gonna wash this, gonna wash this. So you'll have that challenge because you have a big residential, commercial type
Yes, we
deal.
will.
So, just don't get in the habit of washing everything, cause all of a sudden you're gonna be washing kitchen aprons, you're gonna be, all that
Oh,
stuff.
I know. And they service that out though.
I know, but,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
okay, so,
Say I pre-treat 8 towels for the night, I use 6. I
Okay.
can leave those other 2 for the
yeah,
next night?
leave them in, great question, I kinda buzzed over that. Just leave them in, you can put the top on if you want, okay? If you're gonna leave them over the weekend, take the top off, cause otherwise it might get kinda musty in here. And then, depending on how many you overshot by, you might have to lessen this and you have to reload them. When you put your new ones on top of it, just reload it, yeah. Okay, I just don't want nothing in there, okay? I don't want them swimming and dripping. use less water, less detergent, but it's gonna be clean all the time. Okay, and you can see they're all uniform wet. Okay? Yeah. Like I said, you aren't the first ones. You won't be the last. On the way here from the last building to another one, had a call from a director of another district. It's like, we're getting more COVID care money. I want the rest of my team to have microfiber. What's the next step? I mean, it's like, how much equipment can they buy? How many other, but what tools can they do to really make an impact? You know, ventilation, like they've all done a lot of that updating already. So this is something that some of them won't get to move into the next generation of cleaning. And moving forward after this pandemic is over, you just have a much cleaner building, safety-wise. Any other questions?
I think it's gonna be easier cleaning. Everything's on your.
Well, you know what, one thing I've
And
noticed
nothing
with,
is really heavy.
the one thing years ago I noticed, yeah, this is really light. One thing that I noticed from this, you know how in a bathroom, you have like that line,
From the wet, yep.
and that's from that mop that you're mopping every day and you're splatting that up and you're getting it, you got that dirty ring and that dirty line. You won't have that anymore. You won't have that anywhere because it's a nice clean edge. Now to get rid of it, after you do this a few days and you've done this a few times, you won't have that line there anymore. Okay? What do you think about the height? Will that work for you? So you can turn it down to whatever height you want. Just lefty-loosey, righty-tighty to whatever you want. Okay? Better? That'll work. A lot lighter, okay? If you have top handles now, I hope they're all the vinyl covered plastic or aluminum. You don't have wood handles. Okay, good. No wood handles in the building, okay? They hold the dirt, they hold the organics, so stay away from wood, okay? Any other questions?
So yeah, get a feel for what you need. We have all this in stock. If you don't have enough, order more. Okay?
And do you have like a spreadsheet?
Well, the order number should be on that. I believe the cleaning cart and the custodian or the cafe cart.
Oh, that's
all
right.
Those
Yep.
numbers should be on there.
Okay.
I think the only numbers that aren't on there are those buckets.
Yeah, so in our haste, putting this together in November, because it all comes from over the water. On the one for the cafeteria, I don't have these two buckets, the two colored buckets. So we're gonna order them separately. So for you during the day, take one of these off to put the yellow pads in for one of the other carts.
For now.
For now. Until we get it, okay?
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Just borrow one.
Yep. I'll take it.
I haven't even cut it. I'm trying to let Brenda calm down and breathe a little bit, purchasing, okay? I'm trying to let the warehouse calm down a little bit before Paul Hahn sends a whole bunch of more crap into them. And so we're just kind of let them breathe here for a week or two, but we'll get you so that you have at least one of these or two of these that you have.
Okay.
You will find when you clean a cafeteria so when you clean the cafeteria, the yellow one, we have a peanut allergy table, we start first, but when you no longer see the film, we're gonna put a different one on. Okay? And you will find, now having said that, if you have spaghetti one day and there's a big pile of spaghetti, I'm gonna wanna wipe that off with the yellow towel first before I go with this pad and smear it all over.
Right.
But if it's fairly clean, you can use a pad, up and down, up and down, up and down. And you can do the same thing with the seats. Much faster than you could with a towel or whatever you're using before. You guys were using the Rubbermaid
Yep.
pad.
Yep.
Doesn't stay wet very long. Doesn't stay wet a lot longer. Look at tables like this, you probably get 12 to 13 tables probably on one pad.
Like, we'll probably wanna order more of those for the cafeteria.
If If you want more sticks or more frames, they have them.
Because, they're, between lunches is so short.
Yeah, you only have 5 minutes.
And you need more than 2 people doing it for
Yeah.
kids.
So if you do that, you'll have a cart that'll be out here. Stage it with more, have the pads here, have enough pads, have them load up, and let them go.
Gotcha.
Okay? But I think you'll find out, Jackie told me at Big Woods, she started the program, because St. Michael was in, they let their students come back right away. Just like you did, not every student did that. But she could clean her 28 tables, that she has like this, in her cafeteria. She could clean them all in about 6 minutes by herself.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but if you have 2 people, it goes a little bit faster. But also know that if you have 4 people doing it, yeah, it'll be faster. But you might need somebody, what I would suggest then, have somebody go around first, collect the big stuff, one person do that, and then you can follow up with it, and do that, kind of separate it out, and then you help speed the process. But I think when you're doing this, people will realize you're trying to clean a lot better than you have in the past. A lot more efficient, with a lot less overspray, a lot less detergent, a lot less water. And you'll have a cleaner surface. Okay? But yeah, if you need more yellow ones, order more yellow ones. Every building got 24.
Okay.
Okay? And here, we use this for the bulk stuff, or once a week, I have them go and wipe the edges around. Okay? But in some districts, kitchen staff has to do it, and they absolutely love it because they clean the table a lot quicker than they used to do with
See, we've
little
never-
red bucket
We've
tail.
never done tables until COVID, custodians.
Pardon me?
The custodians here never touch tables
You guys
until
gonna
COVID.
have cafe, are they gonna eat in the classroom or are they eating in here?
She said they're eating here.
I heard they're eating in here, but everything coming out of there is in a bag.
Why, you gotta get on top of it. I'm leaving it on
No, I wanted to
you.
just-
Get them out of the damn classroom.
Yeah.
If not, we're gonna hunt you down. They eat in here. Cause you know how many rodents and other things we're gonna have that are eating?
Oh, yeah, we already do.
Already have. Yeah, okay?
They're already established.
Yeah, yeah, so we kinda wanna end that. Okay? Anything else? Okay.
This reminds me a lot of the Shark, like their supplies or products. It's easy.
Thank you.
So we're,